Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Only Anjali is there as of now.
Yes, ma'am.
So Keshav has come.
Good morning.
Very good. Good morning. We were discussing about great kingdoms. Which two kingdoms we were studying yesterday? Quickly answer a few questions.
Rome and
Rome
Iran.
Very good. Which one was more powerful?
Rome.
Rome.
It is said to be spread. The territory
Rome.
is said to be spread across how many continents?
2.
3 continents.
A little correction. It is 3 continents. What was the main difference between the army, Keshav? Rome and Iran?
Ma'am, Iran have
Conscripted army.
and Rome have the professional army.
Very, very good, Peter. So if you're regular, you'll certainly remember. For better administration, Rome was divided into 2 halves. Which were the 2 halves?
West and east.
Eastern and western half.
Very good. Which half disintegrated? Small rulers became powerful and became independent. Which ones?
West.
Yes, the western one. And which one became prosperous?
The
Eastern.
Eastern one. We talked about the first king. Does someone remember his name?
Augustus.
Oh, good. Did he have a natural son?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So he had adopted a son. Very good. Can you recall his name?
Tiberius.
Yes. Very good. Fine. Why did the king increase the taxes?
Ma'am, for the mounting military expenditure.
Are going away.
Did the members of the Senate like the army?
No, ma'am.
They did not like the army. Fine. Let's go to this. We had stopped here. Emperor Trajan's dream.
Yes,
Fine.
ma'am.
To start from here. He has already marched towards, he wants to increase the territories. The second emperor did not do anything to increase his territories. He did not attack anywhere. He did not march anywhere. Why?
Ma'am, because the expansion of Roman Empire is very huge and because of the military also.
Yes, he was quite satisfied with the area that he had. Snehal,
Yes.
good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Are you not keeping well these days?
Yes, ma'am. I was not well to the class. That's why
Because though you are attending classes, you are not that responding like normally you do. So take care, dear. This weather is bad. All of you, please take care of yourself. What weather bad? This phase is only bad. This era only, I must say, is bad. Not only the weather. So many problems. Though COVID number has really gone down, but still we need to be very, very careful, children. I hope you all are not going out of your house anyway.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Don't feel, oh, lockdown to khul gaya, let's go and meet so and so friend. We have not met for so many days or so many months. I hope you're not doing this.
No, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't take a chance, beta. Don't take a chance. You never know where this virus comes from. I was so cautious at my place. I was not even calling the domestic help. No maids, no malis. Nobody was coming. I used to keep the gate locked the entire day. The only interaction I had was with the Dudwala Bhaiya and the Sabji Walas and all who were coming. I don't know where this virus came from. See, I became positive. Both my children became positive. Such difficult days we had. Very, very difficult days. I'll tell you, it was a nightmare, which I'll never, ever forget in my life. So, because I've undergone all that, I always keep warning people that don't take it lightly. It's very, very difficult to go through all that. So, be very careful whenever you get tempted to go out. Remember my words and try and stay inside the house, children. Okay, bache. See this. Much more characteristic was a gradual extension of the Roman direct rule, accomplished by absorbing a whole series of dependent kingdoms into Roman provincial territory. Now he said he's going to expand. He wanted expansion or not? Trajan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what did he do? He made a very simple policy. You know what he did? There were some dependent kingdoms. There were some small kingdoms who were depending on the Roman Empire for business or for agriculture products or whatever. So they were the first to target. He absorbed them, means he defeated them and they became a part of the Roman territory only. It was a series of kingdoms. That means he attacked many small territories, many small kingdoms, which were depending. They were in neighborhood of Rome. So they were depending on them only for many things. So he attacked them. And because of these series of attacks, he added them to which territory? The Roman territory. Now the territory of Rome has increased or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Peter. Let me tell you some examples. Syria, Palestine, all these areas nearby, he attacked and they surrendered. The Near East was full of such kingdoms. If we go towards the east, very close to the Roman Empire, Near East, there were so many such kingdoms. They were actually they were local kingdoms. They basically depended on Rome because they did not have their own forces better. So whenever they wanted, what they used to do, tell me? They used to support Rome whenever needed. They were always there for supporting Rome. And Rome in turn gave them that, okay, we let you exist as independent kingdoms. This happened for the first two rulers. But when the third ruler came, he said, no. He made them a part of the Roman territory only. These were very small kingdoms on which side of the Roman Empire?
East side.
East.
Very good, very good. East side. But by the 2nd century, those which lay west, okay, had disappeared, swallowed up by Rome. So gradually he started the annexation. First, he took very small local kingdoms. He attacked them on the east. They became a part of the Roman territory. Then in the 2nd century, he moved towards the west. And all those small kingdoms disappeared because they were swallowed up by whom?
Rome.
Rome.
Swallowed up by Rome means what, beta?
They captured the territory.
Yes, they captured the territory. So this person, very ambitious, though he had a lot of land already in the Roman territory, but he was not satisfied. He attacked the eastern area. He took and captured all those, and then he went to the west also. Now he had a lot of benefit because of this. I'll tell you how. All these small kingdoms which were annexed with us, some of them were very rich kingdoms. Although they were very small, but they were very rich. They've given you an example, Herod's kingdom. Which kingdom? Which was very small, but a very rich kingdom?
Herod's
Kingdom.
It was so valuable for Rome to become a part of the Rome because it gave an income of 5.4 million dinar per year. The currency we are talking. How many millions per year? 5.4 million. How many dinars?
5.2
million.
And this is per year, children. If you want to have its value in the international market, it's equal to this 125,000 kg of gold per year. When we use this word dinar, it's a currency, Roman silver coin, which contains 4.5 gram of pure silver. So each coin itself is equal to 4.5 gram of silver. And it was giving in a year how many million dinars?
5.4 million
So you can
dinars.
even imagine that Rome is becoming rich by taking over these small kingdoms. In fact,
Yes, ma'am.
except for Italy, which was not considered a province in these centuries, all the territories of the empires were organized into provinces and subject to taxation. Now, what did he do? He introduced another system. Like we have in India, we have got states, beta. Okay. Similarly, this ruler, he made provinces because it was a huge kingdom. Like India is a huge country. For better administration, we have divided it into states. So Rome also, same thing was done. Only Italy was left. The rest, all the territories were divided into small areas and they were called provinces. What were they called?
Provinces.
Provinces. And all of them had to pay the tax. They were subject to taxation, means every province had to pay the tax to the ruler. At its peak in the 2nd century, when we talk about the 2nd century, the Roman Empire was at its peak, because we had earlier done that the empire was already spread across 3 continents. Then all the eastern province areas, all the western areas, everything was conquered by Rome. So we can say the Roman Empire was at its peak in which century? Which century?
In the 2nd
Second
century.
Okay, beta, remember, it was at its peak in which century?
2nd century.
Everywhere that you see, starting right from Scotland to Armenia, from Sahara Desert to Euphrates, everywhere everything was under the control of the Roman Empire only. Given that there was no government in the modern sense to help to run things, you may well ask, how was it possible for the emperor to cope up with the control and administration of such a vast and diverse set of territories with a population of some 60 millions? Imagine. Now we have a proper government in the country. For proper ruling, we have divided the entire country into states. The king also did something like this. He divided the emperor into what are those small areas called? We just now discussed about it. Tell me quickly, what were they called? Provinces. What were they called, children?
Provinces.
Yes. But imagine the area was already spread across 3 continents. Now the western part has also come, the eastern part has also come. It has become such a huge kingdom. And the population was how much? Around the mid-2nd century for Rome?
6 million.
Yes, girls. Approximate population. See over here. How many millions?
60 million.
Yes, it was 60 millions. So how could the king manage this? We are going to understand how the king could rule such a huge population and conquer and rule such a huge land without any government. What is the answer? Urbanization of the empire. What did he do basically? Great urban centers that lined the shores of the Mediterranean. All along the Mediterranean Sea, we had big cities. For example, Carthage, Alexandria, Antioch. Their biggest cities, these are along which sea?
Mediterranean Sea.
Yes. They are the main examples of this system. It was through the cities that government was able to tax the provincial countryside, which generated much of the wealth of the empire. Now, the government was taxing everybody. The government was imposing tax on cities also and in the rural area also. But the collection, the tax from the rural areas, countryside means the rural areas, used to come through these big cities only, which were located along the shores of
Mediterranean Sea.
Yes, Peter. This means that the local upper classes actively collaborated with the Roman state in administering their own territories and raising taxes from them. The upper class, the local upper class. Supposing we talk about any one province, we must be having the upper class of that area. They were in touch with the king and they used to take taxes from the nearby areas and send it to the king after keeping their share. One of the most interesting aspects of Roman political history is the shift in power between Italy and the provinces. One very important thing happened. The power shifting between these small provinces which were under the Roman Empire and Italy. We said that Rome was at its peak in the 2nd century. So by the time we reached the 3rd century, these upper classes supplied most of the cadre that governed the provinces and commanded the armies. What am I trying to say? In every province, we had a rich people class, upper class. What are these classes called as?
Upper classes.
Upper classes. They had all the power of the province, beta. They used to collect taxes. They used to command the armies of that province. So this is how the king was able to rule such a huge Roman Empire. Because for every different provinces, we had some powerful rich people who were collecting taxes and who were also commanding the armies. So they became administrators and military commanders. Basically, gradually as time passed by, they became the local administrators or rulers, and the military commanders, they became so powerful, they even became powerful than the Senate. Okay? Why they became powerful than the Senate? Because they had the support of the emperor. And why they had the support of the emperor? Because all the tax, the money that they were collecting, they were sending it, after keeping the share, they were sending it to the emperor. So they had all the support of the emperor. Whenever the emperor wanted to attack a foreign kingdom, they used to send their provincial armies to the emperor. So obviously, they were supported by whom? They were supported by the emperor. So these local leaders or local administrators, they became more powerful than the Senate also. As this new group emerged, the emperor, Gallienus, he consolidated their rise to power by excluding senators from military command. Now we have a new emperor. Let's have the name of this person. Everybody. Gallienus. What is his name?
Gallienus.
Gallienus.
He was so much depending on these people because they were the ones who were sending money to him. They were the ones who were supporting him with the army. He became so much dependent on them that he excluded the senators from power. He took away all the powers which the Senate had. Yesterday, I told you Senate is like the Indian Parliament, some elected members. He excluded them. Okay. He said no power for the senators, and military commanded everything with these people only. We are told that Gallienus forbade senators from serving in the army or having access to it in order to prevent control of the empire from falling into their hands. He had so much of hatred for senators that he made a rule also that anybody who has worked in the Senate will not be able to serve in the army. They will not even contact the army people because he wanted to prevent the control of empire from whom? From the Senate. He did not want that the Roman Empire should go into the control of the Senate. Rather, he developed a different system. Let us very quickly discuss what we have done. Children, all of you agree that Rome was a big, big empire?
Yes, ma'am.
Already there were how
ma'am.
many continents? Already how many continents?
3 continents.
And then he started attacking east side, all the local small provinces, the west also. And do you agree
Yes,
Rome
ma'am.
became rich after taking over these small local provinces?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We had talked about a small province which used to provide annually the value of gold. How much was it? Any idea?
Five
Or how many
point-
dinars?
5.4.
million dinars.
Yes. And each dinar is how many grams of gold? Sorry, silver.
4.5 grams of pure silver.
Yes, 4.5 grams. Now you can imagine millions of dinars, so much of silver coming. So the Rome obviously becoming rich. The first question which comes to our mind is, since Rome is such a huge empire now, how could the king rule? There was no government as such. So how was the king ruling it? There was small group of people who were very rich in every province. We call them as which class?
The upper class.
Local upper class.
They were given the, very good, the local upper class. They were given all the authority to collect taxes from the city and the rural areas and send it to the king. Of course, they kept their share, and they also took care of the army. So they were in direct touch with the emperor. So they became very, very powerful. The king was depending so much upon this upper class that he became apprehensive of Senate. He was always apprehensive. All these rulers were also always apprehensive of Senate. So he took away all the powers of whom?
Senate.
Senate.
Senate. And he also passed a rule that they cannot serve in the Senate people. They cannot
Army.
serve where?
Army.
In the army. He wanted to keep away that control, no control with them. So let us sum up. In the 1st, 2nd, and the early 3rd centuries, the army and the administration were increasingly drawn from the provinces as citizenship spread to these regions and was no longer confined to Italy. Now, what is happening? 1st century we did, 2nd century we said Rome was at its peak of power and money. Now let's move on to the early 3rd century. The army and the administration, mainly all the army was coming from the provinces. All the rule, the command was being done from the provinces only, because most of the citizens, they started living in these regions, powerful areas which were located along the shore of which sea?
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean.
So all of them are in direct contact with the king. The king is supporting them, except for one. If you remember, we talked in the first part also. Only one was not made as a province. Which one was it? Except for, I had told
Senate.
you, Italy. Except for which place?
Italy.
Italy.
Yes. Individuals of Italian origin continue to dominate the Senate at least till the 3rd century, when the senators of provincial origin became a majority. Now he said, okay. What he started doing is he started putting new members into the Senate and removing all the old members. Because most of the members in the Senate had which origin? They had an Italian origin. Okay, beta, the earliest Senate that we had, most of the members had what origin?
Italian origin.
Italian.
Yes, Italian origin. He gradually started removing all these people who had the Italian origin, and people from provincial origin came into majority. Provincial origin means that high class that we had in provinces, you remember? High
Yes,
class.
Yes,
They were
ma'am.
put into the Senate. So now we have a majority not of the Italian origin people. Now the majority in the Senate is of which people?
Upper class people.
Upper
Yes, the upper class provincial areas. This reflected the general decline of Italy within the empire, both political and economic, and the rise of new cities in the wealthier and more urbanized part of Mediterranean. Now, two things are happening with it. One side, the Italian power is going down because most of the members which are of Italian origin were removed from the Senate. So this is showing the decline of Italy within the empire. The power of Italy is going down. And on the other side, the areas along the Mediterranean are becoming very, very rich, wealthier. So two things are happening simultaneously because most of the senators have been removed Italian origin. So Italy's power is going down. And those small cities which we had built across the Mediterranean Sea are becoming very rich and very powerful. A city in the Roman sense was an urban center with its own magistrate. When we talk about a city in Rome, what does it mean? It means it's an urban center which has its own magistrates. What are magistrates?
I'm the head of the particular city or
Magistrates are basically very good head of judiciaries. Supposing there is a what we call judges now these days. What do you call them in the present language? Judge. Okay.
judge.
So whatever chota mota fight or conflicts they had their own magistrates. They need not go to the king. They had a city council to look after the welfare of the city. And all the rural area which surrounded the city was known as the territory of the city. So the territory was under the jurisdiction or under the control of the city only. So one city could not be in the territory of the other city, but villages were a part of one of the other city. Gradually, villages also could be upgraded to cities. Okay, basically depended on the imperial favor. Imperial means king. If the king is supporting, sometimes what used to happen, the villages were converted into cities and vice versa. If the king gets annoyed for some or the other reasons, look at this word, this is very important, vice versa. Opposite. That means the city could be converted back to a village. This all depended on what? Depended on imperial favor. What do you mean by imperial favor?
The king.
Yes. So villages, understand this, villages could be upgraded to cities and vice versa. That means cities could be again converted into villages. And this all depended upon imperial favor, whether the king is happy or he's not. There was, of course, one advantage of living in a city, that it was better provided during food shortage and even famines at the countryside. Sometimes in the villages, when we have famines, there's food shortage. In city, we did not have. Reason being, it was connected nicely to other areas. So we are talking about rich cities in Rome, having their own magistrates, having their own administration, own villages. So this is about the main cities which we developed across which river?
Mediterranean river.
Yes. Dr. Galen on how Roman cities treated the countryside. Countryside means the villages nearby.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta. Read this in the box. Read it quickly. How these city people used to treat the people in the villages around them. Read it quickly and we'll discuss. Did you read it, beta? Who has written this? Who has written this? What is the name of the person? Dr.
Galen.
Galen. The famine prevalent for many successive years in many provinces is clearly displayed for men of any understanding the effect of malnutrition in generating illness. Malnutrition, you know, na, when people don't get proper food, proper
Yes.
nutrition, they become
Yes,
sick.
ma'am.
That is malnutrition. So famine were very prevalent. Very often they used to have famine in that area, maybe scarcity of water. The city dwellers, as it was their custom to collect and store enough grain for the whole of the next year, immediately after the harvest, carried off all the wheat, barley, beans, and lentils. Now the people in the city, they were comparatively rich. So they had a custom. As soon as it was harvest, they used to collect and store for the entire year. They used to store what? Wheat, barley, beans, lentils, everything. And left to the peasants various kinds of pulse after taking quite a large proportion of these to the city. So most of the part was stored and purchased by which people? City people or village people?
City people.
City people. After consuming that was left in the course of winter, now these people in the villages did not get enough of grain beta. So whatever little bit they could buy or whatever they could store finished in the winter. Okay. They had nothing to eat after that. The country people had to resort to unhealthy foods in the spring. They ate twigs and shoots of trees and bushes and bulbs and roots of inedible plants. So this is how Roman cities treated the people in the countryside. What is countryside? Villages, beta. What does the word countryside mean?
Villages.
Mainly the people in the cities were rich. So whenever this was post harvest time, what they used to do? They used to store, because they were rich, they could buy for the entire year. They used to store the harvest, everything. So the amount which was left was very little for the people in the countryside, and whatever they had finished by winters, then they had to eat all these things. And that was the reason, main reason of malnutrition with these people. Understood why most of them were having this problem of malnutrition?
Yes, ma'am.
Who will explain? Why the people in the countryside, according to Dr. Gallen, mainly were undernourished? Anji, beta, quickly. Yes, beta. Nobody will speak now, only I will speak. Very good. Humanities children, very smart. Which people were undernourished, city or village? I have to ask you like class KG and 1 students.
The village.
Hmm?
The village.
Village.
The village.
Villages. What did the rich people of city do during harvest period?
They store
They
grains,
store.
barley.
Yes. So very little was left with the people in the countryside. They had no options once the grain finished. Apart from what to do? They started eating what when the grain used to finish?
Twigs and shoots of trees and bushes.
Yes, beta. They were eating twigs. They were eating inedible plants which were not good for their health. Now see this. Public bath were a striking feature of the Roman urban life. This is something very important in history. Public baths. Like we have sea beaches and all, something like that, people going there. One Iranian ruler tried to introduce them into Iran. He encountered the wrath of the clergy there. See, I told you we had two powerful kingdoms. One side it was Rome, the other side it was
Iran.
Iran. So in Rome, they had huge public baths where men, women, children, everybody used to go and enjoy taking a bath together. Such baths were known as, like you go to water amusement park these days, something like that you can imagine it as. What were these baths known as? Huge baths were. What were they called?
Public baths.
Yes. We had a ruler in Iran. He thought that let me also make this, something like this in Iran, a public bath like we have in Rome. So he made a huge public bath in Iran also. But the local clergy got very angry over there. Clergy means?
The upper class.
No.
Ma'am.
Yes. What is clergy? Yes, yes. Clergy are the religious heads. Like we have priest in a church or whatever Maulanas or whatever we have in the masjids.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pandits in the temple. So clergy is the religious head is the clergy. He got very angry. He said, no, we cannot have public baths. Water is a very sacred element. And using it like this for public bathing, not allowed. And he was not in favor of men, women, and children all together at one place. So this king could not start with this bath, Iran, although it was made, but because the religious leaders were so dominating there that this could not start. He said, water is something very sacred. Don't spoil it by public bathing, number one. Number two, not allowed that all men, women, children at one place together. So it was stopped. But urban population enjoyed a much higher level of entertainment also. If you see all these kind of entertainments that we have, this was for urban population or the people of the rural areas?
Ma'am, for the urban population.
Yes. So they are trying to tell you how city life was much, much better than the village life in Rome also. One calendar tells us, okay, spectacular, fine. What is it? It filled no less than 176 days of the year. What does this mean?
Ma'am, where people
That
Yes,
it
Peter, what-
lasted for 176 days.
filled no less than 176 days of the year. Guess what does it mean?
That it lasted for 176 days.
No. Related to this line. Related to this line. Population enjoyed a much higher level of entertainment. Relate to this line, you'll understand. For example, one calendar tells us or it shows us that it filled no less than 176 days of the year. We have a school calendar in the diary.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sundays are marked, public holidays are marked, all these things, working days are marked. So if we go and check out only 176 days in the year, no less than how many days? Every time for
176
entertainment in an year, they were getting almost how many days?
176.
Yes, so many non-working days. This shows a higher level of entertainment. Amphitheater at the Roman cantonment town of Vadernissa in Switzerland. Amphitheaters were there. What do you think used to happen in amphitheaters that time? Military drills and entertainment programs for the soldiers. For soldiers' entertainment, they had built huge amphitheaters. Let us very quickly compare the city life and the village life in Rome. We are talking about the 3rd century, the beginning of the 3rd century. We have already done that 2nd century. Rome was at its peak. It was very powerful. Let's compare very quickly. What about food availability? Where was it more? Rural area, city area?
Ma'am, in city area.
City area.
So the effect of famine and all these things were more in which areas?
city areas.
City areas. Okay. See, beta, till here everything is going fine. Rome is prospering. People are enjoying lot of money, lot of leisure, lot of entertainment. Tomorrow we'll start what crisis is going to start in the 3rd century. Till here, to everything is going fine. Let me have a quick revision of what I did. Rome was already had area, territories in how many continents?
3 continents.
3.
Continents.
And the king who took over wanted to increase his area. So he first attacked those small kingdoms which depended on Rome. Towards which direction first? East or west?
East.
East.
Very good. East. And then he also went and conquered all the areas along the west. This made it very powerful. We talked about a small province, although it was very small, but it was a very wealthy province. What was the name? I know, difficult to remember, but read it on the screens. What place it was? Very wealthy. We talked about how much gold it was giving, how much silver it was
Herod's
giving.
kingdom.
Yes, excellent. It is Herod's kingdom. Very good. And we have already talked about how much wealth it was giving. There was only one place which was left. All others were considered a province. All the small areas, it considered it as a province because the king did not like the people of Italian origin. So Italy was left. All of them were considered as small provinces. We had great urban centers. Name 3 great urban centers along the Mediterranean coast.
Carthage,
Alexandria,
Alexandria.
Yes.
and Antioch.
Okay. How did the king rule such a huge Roman Empire? He did not have any government or ministers. So how was he ruling? How was he taking taxes and ruling? Through whom?
Ma'am, by the upper class.
Yes, very good. By the local upper class. They used to collect taxes. Very, very good. So did they become powerful?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And because they became so close to the king removed whom from the Senate?
Senate.
The
Yes.
elected person. The elected
Yes. From which
person.
origin? Mainly which senators were removed? Basically, who had what origin?
Italian origin.
Italian origin. As it is, you remember, Earlier also, Italy was not taken as a province. Rest, all of them were considered as a province. And in place of these Italian origin senators, who was put in the Senate?
The upper class.
So this is how you saw that the upper class became very, very powerful.